How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday night. Almost made it to Hump Day. That's tomorrow. So hope we all make it. Hope you all make it healthy and happy. Today I've been thinking. I've been thinking about not just my health, but health in general. As you can see, and if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I've got my share of health issues, and I'm all right with it. It's going to be the end of me someday, but that's all right. I can accept that someday. I think we're all going to get to that point someday, so I'll take it. Excuse me. Um, but I've been thinking a lot lately about the industry in general, and there's just a lot of flaws. And I know everything's going to have flaws and nothing's perfect, but I just think in the year that we're in and the technology that we have, and I guess the money that's out there, I'm just thinking it should be better. And it's easy to say when you're not the one in charge. And believe me, I'm not in charge. But there's things that are just so simple. And I don't think a lot of people take into consideration how simple things are. Now, the disease I have is a lung disease. It's called pulmonary fibrosis. And it's considered, I believe it's idiopathic, which means there's really no known cause, which is silly to me because my profession and the fact that I smoked for 30 plus years shouldn't be idiopathic. It should be known. I've used my lungs. But anyway, it's labeled as IPF. That's okay. And I see a specialist called a pulmonologist specifically for my lungs. And for me, it happened relatively fast. You know, I worked a full-time job. I did a lot of cool things, rode Harley. My wife and I camped a lot, and we traveled, not a lot, but we traveled some. And all that stuff came to a screeching halt. And my life changed, and not just my life, but people around me, their lives changed too. Especially my wife. She takes care of me. She does a good job. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your effort. I know at some point you're going to watch this, so just so you know, I love you and I appreciate it. But as far as the specialist is concerned, he makes an appointment for me to see him every 90 days. It's every 3 months. And what I have, I believe, is considered a terminal disease. So why every 3 months? You'd think that, number one, they're going to try to give me some kind of help, some kind of longevity. They don't want to see me every couple of weeks. Now, if I had a dip in my health, they'd know about it right away. But instead, they project it out there for 90 days, 3 months. And, you know, if he didn't want to see me, why not 6 months? Why not a year? Why not just wait till I call him back? So I guess my point is what are they looking for in every 3 months? If he was interested in getting me some kind of help, he'd see me more often. And if there isn't any kind of help that he can give me, why see me at all? And it comes down to that right there. It comes down to the money. Everybody got to make money. And even if they don't do anything, they still got to make money. And it's not just him, it'd be the insurance company. Be the people that own the building that he works out of. I mean, everybody's got to make money. And what do they make money from? Certainly not helping me, because I take one medication, just one, and it's a steroid. And it does make me feel better. That's why I take it. If it didn't help me, I wouldn't take it. And that may be, I guess, part of the problem. Because I was told from the beginning of this, when I started seeing this guy, he sat me down and he said, let me tell you, we're now in a partnership. We're in a partnership with your health. And I don't see it that way. First and foremost, I care more about me than almost anybody. And I say almost because I'm leaving the door open about that far, because I know my wife and my daughter, I know they care about me a lot too. At times, I think more than I do. So I'll leave the door open a little bit. When it comes to my health care, I care more about it than almost anybody. So if I'm being told something, I need to understand it and I need to believe it. If I'm being told I have to follow these rules, not rules, these advisory things, these recommendations, then I should be made to understand it. And it just isn't that way. And so it's got me thinking, like, am I just a stubborn one, or is there other people out there like that? I know there's people that just close their eyes and jump in and they do whatever their doctor says. And, you know, there's so many little things that people don't think about. And you know, I went through, I've been dealing with this for 3 years now. In the very beginning, I went through some sort of like desperation where I was willing to do anything, willing to listen to anybody and do anything. But I'm also like a critical thinker almost to a fault. Excuse me. And I really got to thinking about things critically. And I got to understand. I got to understand what's going on. I got to understand why we're doing what we're doing. And in the beginning, like I said, I just kind of followed along and did what I was told, but I literally wasn't. I actually felt worse. In the medication that I was prescribed, I felt worse when I took it. And I found that happens a lot. And once again, it's not just me. It's just me is what I know about. I'm sure there's others out there that, you know, you trade one problem for another. You trade an unbearable problem for a bearable problem. Nonetheless, they're both problems. And I just think, you know, I think we could and I think we should do better. But it's not for profit. I think desperation makes more money. There's people that'll throw their life savings. They'll throw everything they have at their health. So the people that got their pockets open, they're willing to take it. And even if it's not as complicated as it should, you know, not should be, but could be. But we're dumbed down and we're made to think that desperate times call for desperate measures. Desperate measures call for expensive things. And if you can't afford them, our insurance, well, they'll afford them somehow. I was prescribed a drug. I may have went through this before, but it was probably about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, right in the beginning. I was prescribed a drug that cost $13,000 a month. $13,000 a month. I'm going to say it one more time. $13,000 a month to take this medication. I couldn't afford that. The insurance I had doctor put in for the medication. The insurance company came back and said, no, we're not going to pay for that. It's too expensive. Well, first off, why do you have insurance? Second off, why do the insurance companies get to dictate what medications you take and what medications you don't? You know, I heard insurance one time should be called case shit happens. But in the event of shit happening, they get to dictate what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. Meanwhile, you've been paying them. Somebody's been paying them. And that just never makes any sense. But people, when I say people, we all just kind of go along with it. Just how it is. So we just have to go along with it. But in the case of the $13,000 a month, nobody wanted to pay for. I simply said, well, I can't take it because I can't afford that. If it was $13,000 a year, I couldn't afford it. I can't work. My hose is only so long. And They said, oh, well, if the insurance denies it and you can't afford to pay for it, then we'll send in a voucher so the company, see what the company manufacturer can do for you. So what they did is they just gave it to me. So they just gave me medication that they charge people that can afford it $13,000 a month. And so that's probably pretty good. The medication's probably only, I don't know, $3,000 a month for people that can afford it. But because others that can't afford it and the insurance company denies it, then their price goes up to pay for the people like myself that couldn't afford it. And it's a medication. It's, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's a life-sustaining medication. Shouldn't be any charge. We should all want to keep each other alive, regardless of whether you got a fat pocket or not. But hey, that's not how the world works. And as long as we keep putting up with it, it's going to keep being that way. And it's like I've said, I've had doctors tell me, because I've had quite a few, I've had doctors tell me straight up, I care about you, man. I care about your well-being. I care about your health. I want you to be healthy. I want you to, do well. And it's funny because anybody listening out there, anybody, you want to know how much it cares about you? Seriously? Don't pay your bill. They'll send collections after you. Yeah, just that fast. Like, I would never send collections after somebody I cared about. I would never send collections after somebody that I told them, your health matters to me, and we're here to try and figure out to make you last longer. But if you don't pay me, I'm going to take you to court, and I'm going to force you to pay. Now, honestly, I've never had that issue. I've always had good enough insurance, which made my copays and stuff low enough where I could always afford them. The point on that is that they do it, and trust me, I've met some good people, and I believe most of them. Excuse me. I believe a lot of them. I won't say most. I'll say a lot of them are inside. They're good people, but they're forced to work in parameters that probably doesn't make them the best person in the world. I met a guy that was an RN, and he was my age. He was maybe a little older, and he was an RN. And I thought, man, I was getting prepped for surgery, and I was like, man, how did you get to become a nurse? Because you don't fit the bill for typical nurses. And he laughed. He said no, and he told me why he became a nurse. And I always thought, like, he'd be the kind of guy I'd be friends with, like, outside of his job and outside of my job, because we talked for a while and we'd be friends, like we are friends, where we was friends, I guess. Point is he was a good guy, but he had to follow the rules, and the rules are set by insurance companies. Not necessarily in this order, and medical industries that are designed to be profitable. And we can't lose sight of that. It's become normal that, we pay for everything, but I don't think we should have to pay for being alive and wanting to live longer, especially if there's things out there that can make us live longer. I'm pretty convinced there are. I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. But I guess my whole point is we just got to keep trying. And I wish people would wake up a lot of times to the way it is, not the way we necessarily want it or the way we see it, but the way that it really is. And, there's people I know that are close to me that they've been involved in the medical industry, and I love them. And I don't think they're bad people. But I think the rules that they had to follow and the people that make those rules within that industry, I think, are the ones that you should probably be a little bit reluctant about. I heard a thing one time that not long ago that said, and I kind of believe this, the majority of medical universities are funded by pharmaceutical companies, big pharma. Now make that make sense. Make that make sense. Because I can't make it make sense at all. You know, I don't want to get into it. But I think there's a lot of things out there that could help us in our ailments and our sickness, but it's just not, it's not that profitable. You know, one thing I'll tell you, and I've said this on these videos that I've made before, is I'm involved in a laser therapy right now, where it's I believe it's called an M8 cold laser. And I get treatments once a week. It was twice a week because insurance doesn't recognize it. I have to pay for it myself, and it's expensive. It's affordable, but you know, here, let me play this. I'm on a fixed income, and my income is limited, so I have to be careful about, you know, what I spend, and it's kind of heartbreaking because then, you know, I want to stay alive, but I have to be careful about what treatments I get because I have to be able to afford it. So I have to afford to be alive, and that just sounds awful. But anyway, with this laser therapy, they treat my chest and they treat my back. It's about 20 minutes on each side. And if I have problems with my neck or my shoulders or my feet and ankles, I've had problems with those. They run over it with this laser, and I'll be damned if it don't make me feel better. And it's light, like it's light. It's like light, like what's here, except it's a certain type of light, and it penetrates through the skin and gets to your muscles and stuff like that. And it works. Like I'm telling you, it works because I've done it. I know other people that have done it, and it works. And there's people that I just can't convince that works. We've all been conditioned that, you know, they got to give you a pill, medication, or they got to do surgery on you and make you better. And those are really the only two ways to do it. And I think there's so many other things out there. It's just not profitable. Not to the point like a pill, you know, naturally. We all want to take a pill and make it better. You have a headache, you want to take a pill, and you want to be better. You know, if you hurt your foot, you hurt your knee, you want to take a pill, and you want to be better. You just make it go away. I don't have to exercise or do therapy or work out or go see these people every week. I just want to take a pill and make my problems go away. And we got to kind of get away from that. I mean, there's medication out there that's helpful. Don't say don't think I'm saying otherwise. But I think there's more to it. I think there's more to our health and, you know, what we do. But it's easy to get stuck. It's easy to get stuck into what we do and what we think works when the right thing to do is keep our minds open. You know, anybody that has a disease like I have, that there just really isn't much that can be done for it. We've always got our minds open. At least I've always got my mind open. I went through stem cell therapy a year and a half ago, and I got some benefits from it. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, which is, you know, let me run marathons. Not that I ever ran a marathon before, but boy, it'd sure be good to be able to run a marathon right now. I think when I was younger, about riding motorcycles and playing sports and getting out of breath, how it felt. And I'd love to be able to get out of breath from running. Now I get out of breath from walking across the room. But it's a whole different ballgame. Anyway, point is, I just wish everybody keep their mind open a little bit on what's out there, the places we should be looking for help. And then to the people that are in charge of doing that, not that you'll ever hear me, but I wish that you guys could get back to caring about people and caring about people's lives, not caring about whether you can afford a boat when you're retired. You know, I've had some things happen throughout the last 3 years with my illness here. And it's opened my eyes, and it's opened my eyes because I'm pretty critical about things. Not afraid to say, not afraid to ask the question. If you're on the up and up, you'll answer the questions. If you're not, you won't. you get mad. I've had doctors slam their hands down on the desk at me before. And that kind of tells the story. But, tomorrow's another day. Got to keep moving forward. I choose to keep moving forward. I'm not ready to go anywhere. Well, I'm ready. I'm just not. I don't want to. I don't want to go anywhere yet. And I got some time left. Time I want to spend with my wife. I want to see my grandkids get a little older, and still got some life to live. And God willing, I'm going to do it. With that being said, I'm not going to do everything I can because some things I just don't believe. A lung transplant, that's really my only hope. And that's really not on the table anymore. It's too vicious. It's not a sure thing. And it's trading one problem for another. And as of now, I'm not ready for that. I don't know if I ever will be, and that's okay. All right, let's get off of this subject. Been on it for 20 minutes. What else can we talk about? What else here? The Earth losing its gravitational pull for 15 seconds. What's going on with that? Has that ever happened? I don't even think it could happen. But I read that. I read it was going to be the 15th. What's today? Today's the 11th, so maybe it wasn't the 15th. I was thinking it was tomorrow. Maybe. Anyway, around in the next few days, the Earth is supposed to lose its gravitational pull. Gravity. So what are we going to do? Fly off? And it was only for like 2 or 3 seconds, but it was going to disrupt everything. So we will see. What else? What else can we talk about? What else is going on? Talk about flock cameras last night. Anybody that watches my short videos knows that, and I'll be brief about it. I don't like the video surveillance at all, at all. But with that being said, we have remote cameras on our computers. I got one right here. I got this thing. We all carry one of these things around. And I know they listen to us. And I've proved to myself that they listen to us. It's got a camera on front and cameras on the back. Take pictures if they like. And I've said that to people, and people are like, well, they're not allowed to do that. Well, I can tell you right now, if they want to track your phone, they're going to track your phone. When I say they, I'm not even sure who they are. But the technology's there. The capability is there. And if the powers that be or whoever they are want to know whether you're in the bathroom or in the kitchen, they'll know. And until we decide to put our phones down and eliminate a lot of this technology, this electronic technology, flock cameras aren't making that much of a difference. Now, I think what I've learned, and I'm no expert, it's just the availability of like the local authorities having the ability to check the cameras out and the license plate readers. I think that's a little easier for them, but nonetheless, until we get rid of our phones and all this other portable electronic stuff laying around, it's always going to be a threat. It's always going to be a problem. So I guess I don't want to say behave because I'm not that way. If you want to act up, if you want to do things that you feel like you need to do, by God, I say do it. Just know there may be consequence from somebody, something, somewhere. There may be consequence. And in order to do things, you have to be willing to go for the consequences. It's apple juice. So what else can we talk about? I always get on these live shows, which I prefer doing live shows because I like to just kind of talk. It seems like when I record a show, I think, I need to go back and take that out or add this in, where these live shows, I just kind of talk. And this just seems to do what I do best. This and short videos. But I learned, and it took me a while to understand, I can't do short videos, I don't think, with this setup. I have to use this setup. I'm all right with it. So occasionally you might see me do some short videos, and when you do, it'll be out there from my recliner watching my TV. But I've been saying this, and I miss coming in here and making these longer videos like this. But sometimes I struggle with things I want to say, and I'm trying to get back into doing it a little bit more regular. I made a video last week, and I kind of explained that. So I'm still plugging along, still working at it. I'm here making this one, doing this. It's kind of a therapy for me. So as much as I like the likes, the thumbs up, the interaction, the follows, I like all that. It makes me feel good. I'm certainly not in it for the money. If I was, I'd do it every day. Not interested in that because of my sickness. And because I got attached to one of these 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I do have an income. So I'm not dying for likes and views and subscriptions, although it's nice. So if you're watching this and you want to like it, please like it. If you want to subscribe to my channel and you haven't, please subscribe to it. Makes me feel it like somebody's listening. And I'm not going to say that's why I do it, because I don't. Like now, I don't think anybody's been in on this one at all, and I'm okay with that. I know somewhere along the line, if nobody else, my wife will watch it. She still works. So anyway, I don't know what else I can efficiently talk about. It's hot here where I'm at. We've just had some thunderstorms go through. Looks like we're going to get some more by early morning. I like the violent weather. I wish I could sit outside in it more, but when it's hot and steamy and muggy like it is, it's just really hard to sit in it. But something else, if you're watching this and you feel compelled, like you want to have a conversation or you want to have a discussion, let me know. Let me know. I will gladly put you on here. We can gladly have a discussion. There's a way I can split the screen and we can both be on here, and you don't need anything more than a cell phone. Nowadays, we all got cell phones. So that shouldn't be a problem. So like I said, if you're another creator and you're watching this, you want to get together and have some conversations, hit me up. Hit me up. I'll be glad to have conversation almost about anything. And I almost say almost because not everything, but almost. See, tomorrow's Wednesday, hump day. Get over that hump day. I have breakfast with my dad every Saturday. Every Saturday morning, he's in the process of selling his house, and him and my stepmom are going to move into an apartment. And I bet that's tough. I kind of had to do it. I did it about a year and a half ago. I think it was a year and a half ago. Yeah, a little over, maybe a little over a year. Anyway, I did that. I had to downsize, and I live in an apartment now. Where I live is a 55 and over apartment, and I like it. I feel safe. But I'm not 55 yet. I won't be 55 till next year. They made an exception because I'm attached to this hose. So I appreciate it. For anybody listening that it would matter to, thanks for letting me move in here. I like living here. I feel safe. I feel it's clean. They take care of the place really good. I got a call button, so if I have any kind of emergency, I can call somebody in here pretty quick. And that's valuable. When you got problems like I got, it's valuable to be able to do that. So at least I acknowledge it. I don't know what else we can talk about. Or I'd like to have somebody else sitting here on a split screen where we can say, hey, and get each other's minds going. maybe in the future we'll do that. So if anybody wants to come on the show, don't have a channel, watching this video, you want to come on and talk about something, let me know. We'll get it figured out through Zoom or you come here to my house. We'll get it figured out. I think I got another microphone I could plug in, and we could each have our own microphones. Hell, I got cordless microphones even. Anyway, we get it figured out. So anybody want to do that, by all means. What else do we going to talk about? Ready for summer to be over. I'm ready for cool weather. I live in the Midwest, so I'm ready for fall. It's been hot. But it's like this every year. I've got family coming early next month from Arizona, from out west. So I'm looking forward to that. I think quite a few of them are coming. My dad's having a 80th birthday party. 80, wow. 80 years old. Imagine some of the things that man's seen come and gone. 80 years old. Good for him. I'm glad he's still here. I have breakfast with him every Saturday, and I appreciate every day I spend with him. Usually talk to him once or twice throughout the week, and I sure appreciate him. I know he won't watch this, but just let everybody know, appreciate your mom, appreciate your dad. They're not going to be around forever, and I'm one of the fortunate ones where I still got both mine around. Talked to my mom tonight, talked to my dad earlier today. I think it was today, maybe yesterday. I think it was yesterday I talked to my dad. Anyway, so I'm going to let it go at that. I've been here for 30 minutes. That's enough for today. Like I said, if you got something you want to talk about, you want to come on my channel, get a hold of me. We'll make it happen. Until then, happy hump day, everybody. And I hope you all have a good day.